let's talk about the time that I filmed a music video in the desert at about 102-degree temperatures, covered in flies. Welcome to the director's cut. What's good, family? Welcome back. And if this is your first time here, my name is Courtney Hill. I edit and direct music videos and I love all things tech. So if you like those things as well, consider subscribing because we can probably be friends. Alright, so the music video we're breaking down today is Amends by Lokesun. He's a longtime collaborator, friend, and client of mine that I've known from back in Rockford, Illinois. We've probably shot like 3 or 4 music videos together by now, but this time he decided to fly out to California and shoot a video with me, and this was much of the same. Despite the flies and the heat and everything, it was still a lot of fun. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So like I said before, if you guys watched the first episode, you'll know that I always got to start with a wide establishing shot, sometimes with the drone, whether it be with the drone or, just the performance scene, get a wide establishing shot of that, and also some B-roll, do the logo splash, you see the company. But I always like to start off with a wide establishing shot. That's just me. I think it sets the stage nicely. Got the close up there, medium shot.
Yeah. Yeah, OGs did a half a century and that's combined time. Friendships and strangers, nigga, a fine line.
Alright, so to give you guys some context of where we are, this is kind of close to Joshua Tree, and I actually shot my wrap-up video for 2018 here. This is like an abandoned gas station. It has like right next to the train tracks, and it's got like this overhang where the pumps used to be, and then also like a convenience store, but it's all like hollowed out and 2x4s everywhere. There's no one in there and there's nothing going on. I think they're actually remodeling it right now, but the first time I went here, it was closer to winter time and there were no flies, but this time I don't know like what happened, but like the homeless people or like whoever has been here, there's clothes everywhere, there was like urine, there's flies everywhere, and I was like, what the hell happened to this place? So needless to say, I probably won't be going back here, and if I do, the next time I do go back, it'll probably be rented out and be something by then, because it looks like they were doing some construction. I saw like realty signs there and stuff like that. So this place is definitely not going to be on my location list going forward, because this past experience wasn't the greatest. But maybe it's all about the time of year you go as well. But also too, what I ended up doing, because we had limited time on this shoot due to scheduling constraints, I actually ended up blending some footage from my 2018 year-end video that I shot, because I had footage in the same location. So I just paired that footage with the A7 III. That's what I actually used to shoot this video, was A7 III. But that footage was from the same drone, but then also the footage was also from a GH5. So I had to pair that footage with this. But I think it turned out pretty well. This video also has like a really good like a relatable tone to it.
Stabbed in the back too many times, not the downside.
So in this video I did a little bit of masking from the beginning. You'll see from here with the logo going behind his leg, going behind his body. I did a little bit of masking there, really rotoscoping. It turned out nicely. And then I also did some masking here, switching scenes with the pole. I was pretty much going in and out of the poles with the gimbal, and with the A7 III on the gimbal, and just going around these poles and using them to transition to the next scene. Also, the first time I was here, the spray paint wasn't this ridiculous. As you can see, there's mad penises on the wall. But man, this place has been run down even more, if that's possible. If you peep this too, you see a fly crawling on his chain right here. You can see the fly crawling right there. It's crazy. The flies were nuts. It was so hard. It was so hard to like maintain focus and composition shooting this, because like I hate bugs, I hate insects, and they kept landing on me. They're like on my face, on my neck, on my camera, on my hand, and I'm like shaking them off me, and I'm trying to keep a steady shot, you know what I mean? But it was so difficult, man.
The beat would play when I would need a friend, when no one else could find time. It's just me
and this beat again. This is probably one of my favorite shots of the the music video, because I feel like I'm shooting them at a third tier. I like the widescreen aspect ratio here, and also there's leading lines leading to him, the talent. I'm shooting at a corner. A lot of times I try to shoot with leading lines and have like, you know, a vast negative in one section of the frame, and then have leading lines pointing towards the talent. So this one, he's on the corner of the building. You'll see the lines going diagonally straight towards him there, because I'm shooting directly into a corner. And then I'm at like a loose thirds, but you'll see there's like a lot of negative space here at the blue sky. And I just like this frame. It's probably my favorite shot in the entire video.
Who I am, it's just a matter of time. Lost in the dark so long, I think I need a light, or I just need a
more gimbal work. Typically when I do like gimbal shots like this on the artist, I try to do it with like an 85mm. I just love that aspect ratio because it's typically, I try not to do gimbal shots with wide angle with wide angle lenses, if that makes sense, because I feel like there's not enough movement generated by that shot. So when you punch in a little bit and you have an 85mm or a 90mm or you 65mm, you're able to capture a bit more motion, and you as a camera op don't have to move as much to get a lot of motion. And I feel like it's a bit more like immersive, but then also like it kind of like it's more dramatic. You know what I mean? If you're shooting at a tighter angle.
I don't need no help. I just made amends with myself in my selfish ways, and I never slay myself for minimum wage.
But you'll see the trend here: medium, wide, close up. I love the train going in the background.
To extinguish all my problems, I resort to Jane in a little drink, and then I'll ask my bros, when you went through this same thing, did you feel the same?
Drone shots, giving you the setting where we are, what's going on. We're definitely in the desert. It's definitely hot. You see the heat waves coming off the Joshua trees. And then the second performance scene, the second verse, we actually did inside. We did this inside of the gas station, or you know, the hollowed out abandoned building. And then for this shot, I actually used Dream Effects diffusion. So this is the Dream Effects by Prism Lens Effects. So this isn't a light, well, this isn't like a light that I brought. This is actually just the door in the back of the building is open right here, and with the diffusion, it's actually giving it a crazy glow. So like the highlight roll off is nuts. It's giving a huge bloom on that back door being open with the light coming in from the sun. And then I have a key light. Yeah, I guess you could say it's a key light right here left of him in this door frame. So this is a door frame. It's a pretty shallow or short door frame, but on the other side of that, I have like the same LED you see here. That same LED, I have it in that door frame, you know, lighting him a little bit, but it's hidden by the wall there.
But I'm too proud to try and ask for help.
I like the flares. I actually did this with the mini matte box as well. This is the, I think, what is it, 3x4 or 4x5 diffusion.
Only if you came to see me, and if we fell off, just,
and I like the flares that it gives you.
Take it to the grave. There's nothing else left.
It looks real soft.
Still love, even if we couldn't fix the grievance.
And it was hot as fuck. So you could tell. I don't know if you could tell. We tried to do several takes and pause every now and then, but he was sweating, I was sweating, it was hot.
Knock you out, and I don't even mean to digress. Hard pill to swallow, gonna be the first thing to digest. I wanna be up so long, I couldn't buy rest. I wanna be up so much, I couldn't buy stress. Up thinking about places that I never been. Never was an open book, so you just gon' have to dissect. I just made amends with myself in my selfish ways, and I never slayed myself for minimum wage. I'll just get a pack, huh? Then I'll make a play, huh? If I strike out, huh? Then I'll change the page. Internal demon.
Every now and then I try to break up the crazy cuts, and with just like one long take, like that was just one good long take. I like to let the visuals breathe a little bit from like the constant cuts, you know what I mean? I feel like that break is necessary for pace, and also to keep the viewer engaged but not bore them, you know? This drone shot was actually from 2018 as well.
From the bottom up, Brody, we in this bitch together.
It definitely wasn't as hot that day as it was this day. It was super dumb hot. But I was happy with this, like these indoor shots as well, like these blooms that you see on the highlights. That Dream Effects really came in clutch for me that day on this shoot. think that soft aesthetic adds to like the vintage feel with the film mats and the you know, the distortion and the film scratches. But yeah, this is in a place called Mecca, California. There's like this like lake there, which is pretty dope. And this mountain on the other side of the lake, and like on the back side of this frame behind me is the gas station, and then there's the freeway. So this is a pretty cool little area. I was satisfied with the location despite being swarmed by flies. It was a cool experience, a cool shoot. So that's that, guys. If you guys have any questions about any other shots in this video, be sure to ask them down below. Let me know, you know, hey, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? I'll do my best to answer them. A lot of times for this shoot, actually, you know what's nuts about this shoot? Before we wrap up this video, this shoot was supposed to be a completely different video. Like, we planned, I developed an entire treatment for this music video months before you came out here, and it was going to be at this pier space, and it was a completely different visual to kind of convey the message of the song even more so. This one's kind of like, you know, it's just a general one location music video. There's nothing really in depth about it or really thought provoking, but I actually drew up an entirely different treatment, and I was so upset, man, that the Peer Space host canceled it on us because of COVID. Like, they canceled it on us because of COVID restrictions. They're like, no, we're closed, we can't do it, well, we can reschedule you. And he had already bought his plane ticket out here, so we had to improvise on the fly, which is why I went back to somewhere that I was familiar with. That location being that I shot there before, I was like, all right, we can just go here and try to get some general shots. I know it's a cool looking area, it has a lot of, like, you know, character to it, a cool aesthetic. We can go out here, we can film this. But I was so disappointed, man, because that video was supposed to be so much more. I'm satisfied with how it turned out, but it was supposed to be so different. But yeah, sometimes you gotta roll with the punches, you know what I mean? Like, things happen and you gotta improvise, and that's what we did. We just picked up, it was just me, him, his girlfriend who's also a musician, his brother, and his brother's girlfriend. But really, the whole time filming, it was just me and him. And we were just, you know, running around that abandoned gas station, capturing shots. I was flying my drone. We were catching up on, you know, whatever, you know, from back home. And yeah, it was a good time though. The video turned out well. Stay fresh. Peace.